Hello, it's Friendly Cat. We've got a fun one today. We're playing as Canada on Ahistorical. We're going to be doing It's 1812 all over again, which involves taking out Washington, D.C., and our little southern neighbor. And then we will also be doing Rule Britannia, which is taking over Britain. I don't normally do ahistorical runs because the world kind of goes nuts and it's really hard to duplicate what I've done. But we're going to try it. Let's have some fun. And certainly the beginning part, taking over the United States, would play out the same as historical as ahistorical as well. So we're going to be moving through and, of course, planning on a very quick civil war and trying to take advantage of technologies while we're in our little research sharing block, maybe doing things a little bit out of order. Germany will not be going fascist, it seems like. All right, already getting a little bit spicy. I wonder who's going to be attacking who. After we complete patriotization, we will be proceeding down toward the swastika clubs as a plan to, of course, start the Civil War and be our own little fascist country. We're going to take the fascist demagogue with that 150 pp and then proceed over toward the commission in the upper left-hand corner for some political power, while also planning out for the first expand Civil War support. Watch the time, watch the dates. We are really on a little bit of precise timing and dates, so we want to move very quickly through here and hit the expand civil support so we can reduce our stability. After we complete the commission focus, we hold to save PP. We want to go after the United States as fast as possible. That means we need to get into the Civil War as fast as possible. We'll take another expand Civil War. Watch the date. I think it's the middle of August. We're timing this very carefully so that we can minimize the loss of stability while also getting to the Civil War as fast as possible. As you get ready for the Civil War, disband your divisions. We're just about ready to take it. Even though we're 60% stability, we are going to take a look at that. And the reason we want to know divisions is so neither of us have any armies. We will take anti-fascist raids to drop us below the 50%. It's temporary. We'll eventually gain back that stability, but this allows us to go into the Civil War here in September 1936. So let's go ahead and ignite that Civil War. This is somewhat challenging only because we need to be quick. Let's take war bonds because we are at war. That is a focus that is locked behind being at war, so let's clear it out right now. None of the other, actually a lot of the focuses in Canada are locked behind war or world tension. We will also justify on the Philippines immediately. 310 days. They've already taken that 30% malice to justification time. No worries. Our divisions are going to look something like this. We want a couple infantry and a couple cavalry. Yeah, not a lot of production going on, but that's okay. Race one of your cavalry toward your eastern part of your country and race the other one toward the west to Vancouver. Like so many civil wars, our goal is not to engage in combat. Our goal is to take victory points and end this. Oh, our first combat. We're having trouble. That's okay. Avoid those Canadian troops, Democratic Canadian troops, the other side of the Civil War, and try to run around them. You can do it, and with the east side taken, let's move on toward Vancouver. We want to make sure war bonds finishes before we take Vancouver, otherwise I think that focus cancels. After war bonds, we'll take support for blue shirts. From here on out, you want to take focuses to the extent possible that increase population. I won't necessarily be showing all of those for the rest of the run. Vancouver done, and we have now completed the Civil War, and we will now have all of Canada's population and military strength at our need. We'll take proper heritage as usual with 35 military XP, primarily so that we can build a few garrison divisions, our usual template of police no MP. We're going to fill it up with cavalry battalions and then later on add a military police support company. We will also use it to make a few other divisions too. We're going to make a 3-battalion cavalry, and all of these of course don't cost any additional army XP because of that army spirit or army command fellow we picked up. We're going to try to make a 6-battalion division as well without costing army XP, but Unfortunately, we're not going to be as clever as we should be, and I should be duplicating this template before creating a 1 battalion, and I don't, so I lost the 6 battalion. My own mistake. When we go to war with the United States, this is very challenging. So watch where the divisions are. Those are 6 width cavalry defending our coast, while 4 infantry divisions push hard with that battle plan. Yeah, I know how to use a battle plan, and you see me micro my troops quite a bit. As we push through, race around the corners. We really want to encircle those troops and cut them off from the port. Those are 6 width, and some of those are 2 width. Those little dice roller cavalry are 2 width. Once Boston's under control, you've pretty much got it. Yeah, 2 widths aren't going to hold off more against those powerful American troops, but time is on your side. Start to move around them, and with a little bit of sprinting, we'll be able to waltz right into Washington. I think it might be a 2 width, 1,000 cavalry troops that actually make it into Washington first. It's hard to tell there. But in any case, we've pretty much won the war at this point. Cavalry absolutely do better than infantry in this type of scenario because we want to race around, and as we cut off and encircle American troops, they lose supply and they lose ability and their mobility. They can move around a little bit, but they can't move much. Encircle, take them off, and without even crossing halfway through the United States, that's it. The toughest part of this run is complete, and I think this plays out the same as on historical. We'll take the fleet, take the country, feeling good. Now we want to look around to see what targets are left. This is ahistorical, so we're going to look at different focus trees. In this case, we see that Japan has gone communist. And I won't show all of the views, but throughout an ahistorical run, you want to regularly be looking at different countries and see what's going on. Okay, China's gone to war. They often seem to go after the subjugate warlords focus. Let's look at what's happening in the West. Okay, the Spanish Civil War. Portugal hasn't gone anywhere yet. Hasn't decided whether they're going fascist or communist. Okay, Germany hasn't attacked anyone. Italy seems to be stuck with Mussolini. Because we want to know what our different targets are. Britain. Britain seems like it's going to be going communist. This is interesting, because if they go communist, we can justify them without necessarily bringing in the whole world. Looks like they'll also be splitting off their colonies. They'll be letting them go. Very interesting. But for now, because Japan has gone communist, we're going to justify on them. They won't be in the war with China, unlike in a historical game, so no one's getting their land but us when we win. Our tank, I'm trying an anti-air tank. I think this is better than my other designs. It's hard for me to change, but I concede it is better. It costs about the same, and it provides anti-air, so that's a good thing. It's painful for me to read, but there's something better than what I've been using, but it is better. Alright, our infantry division is going to look something like this. Eventually they're going to become 27 widths, and eventually we'll put a medium tank on the front, but at the moment, because we're limited by artillery, we're only making it I think it's a 24 width, which is 9 battalions of infantry. The UK says you either need to get rid of some of your capital ships, or they and France may go to war with us. You rats, you rascals. Oh. Whether my ships are lost at Pearl Harbor or lost through this kind of stuff, I do not like it. But nonetheless, we're going to pick battleships one by one, and destroy them until eventually we meet that disarmament. And you see right now it's that implemented naval disarmament. It just went to the green from gray, which means we have now destroyed enough battleships that we no longer are at risk of that war with Britain. We've met our promise to disarm. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten you, Britain. I will come back to you. And then they ask, hey, you want to sign a new treaty? No, there's absolutely no way I want to sign another treaty and send more of my battleships to the bottom of the ocean or scrap them or whatever the game mechanic is. We're going to make a big navy. Now, when we naval invade Japan, watch your naval invasions. Here, I've got double red bubbles. I'm not going to make the port. I'm not going to make. So we need to pull off that unopposed naval invasion on the west side so that those guys don't get lost in the battle. We don't have very many divisions. But in the north, we made it. We've got a landing. Our 10 divisions are now ready to face off against Japan's, 40 plus divisions. I think they have more mills than they do, and they're going to start racing north, but we've got a landing. And we have tanks. So that's a lot of troops. That's a lot. This is a China that did not go to war with Japan. Excuse me, a Japan that did not go to war with China, so they've just been sitting there and building up. They have no losses. This is going to be tough. We do have tanks, and we can also individually control our troops, which is what we're going to be counting on against this very tough battle. Oh, where are you going, little buddy? "Ah, I'm gonna defend the Philippines." No, 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 no. You got to go back into the fight with your other 9 friends against that giant Japanese army. We don't need anyone to defend the Philippines. Nothing's gonna happen there, buddy. This is where the battle is. One little encirclement. 2 divisions isn't a whole lot, but it does protect our side. And with so few divisions, it's going to be tough. We need every little pocket. Even with the red bubbles, we're going to lose little areas. We need to do the best we can. Philippines invasion. Who would have seen that coming? All right, maybe I should have some more empathy for MacArthur's situation. Well, we'll send some cavalry up there. We'll do what we can. If we lose the Philippines, so be it. We definitely don't want to lose those troops. We just don't have the manpower to spare, so we would run them off the island. It looks like we held them, and then they started to pull back. Okay, I guess we'll be encircling them with our cavalry and see how it goes. It's actually glad they attacked us, because if they're not in Japan, then they're dying in the south in the Philippines, and we can also convoy worry them, which also reduces their power. With this pocket, the battle for Japan is largely done. We now have enough power to push forward. They just don't have enough divisions concentrated in the nearer to us, so we can continue to encircle as necessary and push our way through with our infantry, including our tank lead. And with that, with Tokyo under control, feeling pretty good. It won't be that much longer until Nagasaki is ours. All right, Japan, you went ahistorical. You tried to go communist and maybe stay out of these wars, but we took what we had. That fleet doesn't seem too big, but that's okay. We'll take it and then move on. Our aircraft is a standard mixed-use CAS with bomb locks in the front, self-sealing air tanks, or fuel tanks, excuse me, and armor plating, just the usual plane. And after taking out Japan, we do want to take a look around to see who else might be vulnerable. I think it's Manchukuo. That's not what they're called, but it's the country to the northwest. They stayed fascist, so no one's going to guarantee them. And after taking out Japan, they're not going to put up too much of a fight, or relative fight, where our army is getting larger. We're getting more 27 widths, more divisions with tanks. A little pocket here. Not too impressive, but it just helps us spread out a little bit faster. Manchukuo can't really stop us at this point, because even though our army isn't overwhelmingly in size and power, it's very effective. And we'll swing around because they have quite a bit of land, and eventually, if we take enough of their land, obviously, we will bring them. And so that's where the Japanese fleet went. Very impressive. We're going to send volunteers up to fascist Spain, because fascist and communist countries aren't going to be guaranteed. So if we can help fascist Spain win their civil war, later on we can naval invade them and help us get a foothold on Europe. So we'll be just chewing right through their, civil war enemies, and very quickly help them take out one. And then we take out the anarchists, Carlist anarchists, and then we manage to capture some Russian, but also more importantly, Portuguese volunteers in a pocket. And this is actually really nice to take them out right here, because later on we will be fighting the Portuguese, so this is just a few less divisions that they have to defend their little land. Portugal went communist, so again, another country that's not going to be guaranteed, and if they're communist, we don't really have much to worry about. This is a very clean naval invasion, pretty much as clean as they get, where we've got an encirclement, and we're attacking from the land and from the sea. We're opening up combat with. Oh, Portugal joined the 4th International. I guess that's what communist countries can do sometimes. Well, okay, if Trotsky and his band join, so be it. We'll have to live with that. It shouldn't impact us that much, but we're going to do what we can to finish off Portugal before they join. Excellent. And we did have troops on the Russian border, which I think contributed to the delay in them joining the war. With Portugal taken care of, it's on to Spain. Yeah, I know we helped you with our volunteers, but now we're going to take you up because we want more land, more factories, and we're going to head just racing across your countryside. You don't have much of an army, maybe 4, 6 divisions, I think, so our cavalry just quickly race around. And with that, Spain is ours. Last is Britain, because I think they tried to go communist, they never made it. And because France tried to go fascist or communist, but they never made it. France never joined the Allies, but if they had, we still would have just taken them out. We've got the 1940 naval invasion tech, so we're landing here, there, and everywhere, every possible port. We've got spotter subs. England never went to war with anyone. They don't have colonies. They don't have lands outside their island, so they just are defending their coastline and their ports pretty well. But we still have the firepower to push through. Even though our army isn't extraordinarily large, it is very compact. And we've got that limited Canadian manpower, but with the tank infantry, we're going to move through. And this time I didn't get encircled like some of my other battles, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. We played it safe and prepared to take them out. And with that, and with no one else in the war, and nobody else joined in this ahistorical run, except for Free Ending when they're fighting their civil war, we've got it. And they also called in all their little buddies who they had released earlier, or almost all of their buddies. So we'll pick up that free land as well. Not a too difficult run. This historical went pretty well. We're going to take all of their ships that we possibly can. Not that it really matters that much. This run didn't go too nuts. There wasn't too much unusual activity. Playing Canada is a lot of fun, and it was nice to kind of not know what exactly was going to happen next. Looks like the world's gone a little bit unusual, but like I said, not too nuts. If you enjoyed this run, if you want to see similar runs, please feel free to leave a question or comment in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope this helps you if you're pursuing these achievements in the future. Hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching.